romantic connection. You got to tweet this out. You got to send this out, because many of us will be connected with someone romantically, at least, darling, once in our lives, unless you've been set apart in ministry, or you just been, set apart to do something or focus on something, your art, your work, your mission in life, and you just don't have that particular desire. Not that because you are craving for the same sex or something else. It's just that you are focused on what you're doing. And so I do understand that, and I do honor those people as well. But majority of us will have a romantic connection, at least, darlings, at least one time in our lives. And we don't think much about our romantic connections per se. Now, I know you guys here on the Wise Courtship Philosophy, you think a lot about it, okay? Whether you've been married and still are, whether you're looking to be married, whether you're just connected with someone, you think about it. You take it seriously. But we don't think of it as a whole, as a people as a whole. In general, the importance, yes, absolutely, the importance of our romantic connections. When we think of romantic connections, the majority of the time we think of kissy poo-poo, holding hands, floating on cloud nine. Cloud nine must be so crowded by now, because many of us are always floating on that cloud, and we think of it in this terms. And I have a friend who's now really looking, and it's always a cloud experience, although I think they are very serious about their relationships. But that's what we tend to think about, right? When we fall in love, and it's that wonderful feeling, and don't lose the feeling. But at the same time, it is much more than that. Thank you so much for those beautiful, beautiful hearts, guys. I appreciate you so very, very much. But the first thing I want to talk about in regards to romantic connections is, number one, it ain't about you, boo, okay? I hardly ever use a slang, but I had to use it in this sense. It ain't about you, boo. Hello, Ketchy. How are you, darling? Thank you so much for subscribing to the Wise Courtship Philosophy. It's not always about you. See, I went back to perfect English again. It ain't about you, boo. Listen, a lot of times we, when it's about love, it's always about what I want. Welcome, darling. Welcome. It's all about what I want, what I'm looking for, what I've got to have. She's got to be this, and oh, she's bad, and oh, she's going to make me look good when I step out, and he's got money, and he's got body, and he's got a six-pack, and all of this. Hi, Hair Yum. I love that. That means I'm going to like that hair you talking about. Hi, Perk Tudor. Hi, Shaz. How are you? Welcome, everyone. And so it ain't about you, boo, okay? I know. Hi, Eldra. How are you? I know that you're saying, wait a minute, it is important. If it's your first time, go ahead and put your name through the chat box so I can welcome you. I know that romantic connections do involve you, and you should be satisfied. But I'm saying that it ain't about you, boo, okay? And this is what I'm saying, is that your connection, your romantic connection, is far greater than what the person looks like, what they drive, how much money they have, whether they're good in bed, all of those things. Your connection, your romantic connection, is far greater. Now, I didn't intend for this to be a series for all of those who are just coming in, but yesterday, and you go ahead and follow me, and you'll be able to, get great value Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hanging with me, new people, I will reintroduce myself. Hi, Celebrate You. How are you, darling? And so, thank you so much for sharing. And so yesterday I talked a lot about connection, and I want you to view that. We were just talking. That was it. But today is somewhat of a lesson in just talking, so feel free to commune with me, to conversate with me if you like. But, many of us don't realize that the romantic connection is far greater than just surface, okay? Just what we're going to get out of it. Because when you connect with someone, you are merging souls. You are merging spirits, okay? Not just your body, but you're merging all of you. You're merging your very life. And so as I get into the next point, you're going to see why this is important and why I say it's not about you, boo. There is a far greater purpose. And if you tap into the greater purpose, you will find much more fulfillment, much more satisfaction. Hi, artist. How are you, darling? Thank you. Artist Emmy, how are you? Or M, how are you, sweetheart? And so you'll find much greater satisfaction. And listen, let's face it, we all want satisfaction in our romantic connections, don't we? We want satisfaction. We want to be loved. We want to belong. And that's why here, you always are loved and you always belong. Good, darling. Good to see you. Listen, if it's anybody's first time, put your name and where you're scoping from through the chat box so that I may greet you. Thank you so much. Good morning to you. And so, number one is, it ain't about you, boo, when it comes to the connection. Yes, you should get what is pleasing to your eyes. Yes, you should get something that you're excited about, someone you're excited about. You got to go, okay, I'll catch you on the replay, darling. But also, you have to realize that there is a greater picture. There is much more that you could receive if you let go of the reins, let go and let God, as we say. Hi, MSSM. Thank you so much for subscribing to the Wise Courtship Philosophy. And number two, one, it ain't about you, boo. But number two is, it shouldn't be about what the person can do for me per se, but what can we do together? What can we do together? Now, if you know the Wise Courtship Philosophy, listen, you already know we're not just dating just to be dating. You know that when we go out with someone, this person is potential, okay? They have all types of potential. Yes, we don't have time to waste. We are grown. Some people say grown and sexy, but whatever, we're grown. We don't have time to play games. So we don't have time to just be dating somebody just because we want a free meal and dating somebody who's not going to be anywhere close to what we're looking for. And so when we go out on this date, it's not just about what I'm getting, but what can we do together? And so now, if many of you have read this book, you know what step number one is. As you start interviewing, as you start asking questions and posing questions to this person, you are now starting to feel around to find out what skills they have, what attributes they have, what characteristics they have, what about them you can merge with them so that you two can go higher. It doesn't make sense. And I think I'm going to get some amens off of this one. It doesn't make sense for you to connect with someone who's going to bring you down. You could go down all by yourself. It doesn't make sense to connect with someone who's not going to work with you. You can do all of that all by yourself. Absolutely. And many of us, listen, beautiful women, and even some of our awesome gentlemen will connect with people who will control us, who will tell us what to do and how to do it. And I'm not saying don't be open for instruction, don't be open for suggestion. You should. But you know what I mean, that control, that abuse, that neglect. And we subject ourselves to those things, and we were doing mighty good all by ourselves. Or even if we were doing bad, you could do bad all by yourself, right? Isn't that a song, a slogan, something you put on your t-shirt? Listen. When you go on that date, when you connect with someone, just before you connect, you need to ask this question: what can we do together? Because you'll be together after all. You know, many people will share the bed at night, all night long. They'll have sex all night long, whatever, but they will not share their money together. They barely share their children together. They don't share their dreams and aspirations and goals. What in the world are you married for? What in the world are you connected for if you cannot merge together? And so the question is, what can we do together? So number one is, it ain't about you, boo. You got to clear that mind. You've got to step up into another level, realizing that you are part of a fuller plan. And number two is that, listen, you need to ask yourself this question: what can we do together? Now, if you're ready for number three, go ahead and put number three through the chat box. And I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Tony Henderson-Mayers. I am the author of Wise Courtship. Wise Courtship is a book with a 3-step system to help you determine the true character and the true intent of your love interest. Hi, Elzac. How are you, darling? So we talked about it ain't about you, boo, and we talked about that we need to ask the question, what can we do together? Thank you guys for those threes. And here's the most important, because I try to say the most important for last sometimes. But one of the most important is to make it happen. You would be shocked at how many people are together, and they may be successful people now. See, we attribute success to money. But that's not necessary success. That is the United States way, the world's way of saying what is successful. But money does not equate success. Ask anyone who's locked in their house with no love, no attention, no warmth whatsoever. They got all the money in the world. Welcome back, Ketchy. But they don't have the satisfaction. That is not success, dear ones. But listen, a successful couple will make it happen. Whatever their dreams and goals and aspirations are, they will come together to make it happen. I noticed that I do my greatest work when my husband and I come together as one. We pray about it, we talk about it, and we work toward it. And it seems to happen just like that, and so it's so important that who you're connected with can come into agreement with you. How many of you have had goals and aspirations only to have your husband or your significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, to say, I'm not going to do that. No, we're not going to go there. And so many dreams, so many goals, so many opportunities went down the toilet, if you will, because they did not have your back. Well, listen, you're not the only ones. I see that hand. Absolutely. And listen, I know some of you are afraid to say it because they may look at this scope, right? But that's okay. I understand it. I understand. It happens all the time. Because people connect with folk because they look good, because they have money, because they're in shape, because they have a lot of land, or they have a great family. It's hard to continue without support. It is Ketchy. It is. And so many people are connected. Yes, they live in a wonderful home. Yes, they have status and all, but they are not the fulfilled person that they could be. Welcome back, Lily of the Valley. Absolutely. They are not the fulfilled person they can be, because of their romantic connection, and that connection is not willing to make it happen. Listen, there are so many powerful couples. You see them on television. You hear them on the radio. You see them in front of you. You see them in your neighborhoods. There are so many powerful couples that put their heads together and say, we're going to do this together. We're going to make this happen. Listen, it doesn't matter if you don't have two nickels to rub together. If you two come into agreement, powerful things will happen. One can chase 1,000, but two can chase 10,000. It is amazing what two people can do if they get on the same playing field. It says a three something chord is not easily broken, meaning you, me, the significant other, and God. If you can wrap you guys together, it's so hard to break you apart. Get on the same level with your romantic connections. Don't let it just be about sex. Don't let it just be about they've got money, they've got status. She's beautiful. Oh, she's bad. She's a dime piece. She's everything I've been looking for. If you can't work together with her, every time you make $1, she makes it holler, okay? She spends it. It's gone. You can't operate like that. You've got to get your romantic connections together. Well, that's all I have. I didn't mean for it to be a series, but it is. We're going to go through family. We're going to go through friendship. We're going to go through business, maybe even ourselves, our God, and even our money. We're going to go right down the line about how these connections are everything. Thank you, Ketchy. These connections are everything. And I pray, darlings, I pray you get your romantic connections together. Well, darlings, I can be visited on the web. Thank you so much. At www.wisecourtship.com. I'm on social media just about everywhere. God bless you too. Under Wise Courtship or Tony Henderson-Mayers. Just Google me. Well, darlings, before you go, I've got to ask you this question. Has anyone told you that they love you today? No? Sure enough? Well, let me be the first to say I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Thank you, Cynthia. This is Tony Henderson-Mayers. Love you guys. Remember, I help you detect a lover worth living with. Goodbye.